Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the YouTube community proudly presents Skype with Spike, with your host, Spike Von Shadow. Hey, I love you. Hey, bitch, stay out of my fridge, I told you. Hey, how's everybody doing today? I'm your host, Spike Von Shadow, and welcome to another fun-filled adventure of Skype with Spike. Today, just like every other Skype with Spike, we have an interesting topic and an even more interesting guest. With all the craziness that's going in our world nowadays, especially with clowns, and this presidential debate, which we have even more clowns, and at times can seem like an overwhelmingly dark place. We need people in our life and in our world to be beacons of hope and to inspire us and to keep us motivated during these dark times. And who better to help shed some light on this situation but a good friend of mine, Will Vlk, or formerly known as the Clown, D. Raven the Clown, man of 1,000 names. So, let's get started. Let's introduce our guest today, William Vlk.
How we doing today?
How you doing today, Will?
Oh, I'm doing fairly good.
Well, I'm glad we could have you on Skype with Spike with us today.
I'm honored to be a guest.
Now, how did you get into the whole bouncer slide business, and how did you get into the whole kind of clown thing?
Well, it originally started back in 2008. I was actually on the carnival for a little while. I was running a balloon pop game, and the clown didn't show up. So they were like, well, we need someone to paint up as a clown and do dunk tank. And I was like, okay. So I did that for a few months. And then I went to Colorado and actually studied the flagging and the sign flipping.
Oh, yeah.
And then moved back down here to Louisiana, and I wanted to open up my own business, and it was kind of a weird thing. I was walking down the road trying to brainstorm what would be a good gimmick other than just the sign flipping. And right there and then, a clown nose was actually rolling down the road, and I picked it up,
Whoa.
and I was like, what? I was like, this is gonna be epic.
Dude, that's like a sign, man.
Dude, clown back in a minute. I was like, everybody loved the dunk tank clown. I was like, let's try an advertising clown. Well, since then, I've evolved to Clowns, Bouncers, and Slides, where I do customized kids' parties. I show up with a little carnival full of games and a bounce house or a water slide, a chalkboard truck, which is like the biggest attraction here in Senlaw right now. And since then, that's where I'm going. We started Out of the Closet Studios, where I do photography and video work for a lot of the local rappers here in Senlaw. It's been taking off pretty good. I feel positive about it because I'm not overcharging these people. They're just getting started out. We work with each other to keep positive and keep each other motivated in the right ways.
Now another question is, where do you see yourself? Where do you see this growing and evolving into? Like, what is your ultimate goal in all this?
Well, back to kind of our presidents being clowns, I've always said we need more positive people in the office. That's why I've always said the Clown for President 2025. That's when I'll be able to actually run for president. I understand it's not an electoral year, but eventually, you can veto him out of office and vote me in.
Hell yeah. Hey, I would vote for you. I'm telling you. We should get together, man. We should run 2025.
You could be my VP right there, bro.
Hey, I don't mind. I don't mind being VP, because when your time's done, I'll run for president. Shit. I'll be in my golden years, baby. So,
we'll both retire then.
See, that's what I'm talking about, man. See? And see, there are certain clowns that I like and certain clowns that I don't. If you haven't noticed, most people have I tend to like a certain clown. Tends to be one of my favorites. I have my Killing Joke next to me always. One of my favorite novels, one of my favorite graphic novels I ever read. The Joker's always been like he's always been like the one villain that I can really relate with. Because he's always been the type that he feels that most people are just one bad day away from becoming him. And it's like his whole duality as to how he looks at the world. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, but I think that this Out of the Closet Studios and then your bouncer business, I think is really positive. And we really need people like that doing stuff like that in our world today. You know, you and I are right around the same age, and it's like we grew up in a world that's completely different than what we're in right now.
Oh man, it's completely different. Like, talking with high school kids now, I go out and I do motivational speaking at high schools, and
wow, that's really incredible, man.
See these kids play on these cell phones and stuff like that. I'm like, man, when I was a kid in high school, I wanted the best pen set. Like, I wanted the coolest art supply.
Hell yeah! Like I wanted that 0.5 and that 0.7 lead one, man.
We didn't even have the Nokia 6010 then. We didn't even have Snake.
like you didn't have no games on a cell phone back in those days. Like it was like you could push some digits and make a call. Like that was state of the art.
We were still rocking Game Boy Color.
Like that was.
And we thought that was gonna last for the next 15 years. What color added to Game Boy?
Like what is this? Like where is this even going? Like we felt like we were at like the most advanced that we have been as human beings during that time, man. And like looking back at it then and then looking at it now, and I'm like, wow, what happened?
I mean, our average cell phones nowadays have more memory on it than the computers we had growing up.
And I felt like we jumped in technology just like that. Like, I felt like 2005, 2006, we had those, like, flip phones. And then, within a few years, like, the first smartphone came out. Like, we literally went from, like, talking and texting.
The Nokia Razr was, like, the big last flip phone I remember.
Yep.
Then it went straight to, like, smartphones.
Yep. And I can't imagine going from then until now. And I feel like technology moved so fast in that direction, you know. So, moving forward, I want to get to our next topic. Creepy clowns. The clowns in this presidential, especially I want to start talking about the presidential debate, our presidential candidates, and how, in yet this grave, dark situation we are in, how positive people and motivated people are so important. And so, I'm not going to ask you who you're voting for, but I want your thoughts on this whole political thing, this whole presidential debate, and this whole Trump versus Clinton thing. What are your thoughts on it?
I think if they would keep things more positive, they all they do is they go to bash each other. Like everything, left and right. They have no uplifting words like, oh yeah, well, I think if you were president, you would do this really good. It's just all negativity. And like, why do we want that as our president? Why do we want something that negative?
Exactly.
Like, I really feel that's why Obama, like, even though a lot of people didn't like Obama, he got voted a second term for the sheer fact he was trying to keep shit positive.
Yeah. And I have to agree with you. I think that's probably, I think his attitude, I think was one of the big reasons why he got elected again. People liked, even though there wasn't a whole lot changing, there wasn't a whole lot going in a positive direction, he had a positive outlook on it. And I think as Americans, we look at that and we're like, well, yeah, we're in the crapper right now and shit's bad, but at least, hey, we got somebody positive that's leading the charge, you know, and at least hopefully that will lead to better things, you know? And I feel like I have to agree with you 100%. I feel like in this debate, it was just a big, like, no, you're this way. No, you're this way. No, 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 no. And I felt like...
It was like little kids fighting, and they're both over 50 years old.
Yeah. What? No, no. What is that? Okay, we've got little kids, okay? Let's just put things in perspective. We have little kids nowadays. You go on YouTube, man. You got little kids playing, like, Cemetery Gates by Pantera. Like, shredding up some Metallica shit. These kids are, like, 6, 7 years old. And you're like, whoa, holy crap, dude. Like, way to go. Now, here's the opposite of that. We have 50-year-old people that are acting more like children than our children are. What is that?
It's horrible nowadays that this is what we're supposed to leave our country to right now. These are our top 2 candidates.
When we've got 0 to 10-year-olds who are so much smarter and in a lot of ways more mature than our grown 50-year-old elders, like, what kind of a world is that?
Here's the sad thing. Those are young kids. These are not only adults, these are wealthy adults. They're successful people, and they're acting like this now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the like? Normally, if this was like a teenage situation, I would say, well, where's the parenting? But these are 50-year-old people. These are people that are older. Dude, they're both...
I kind of wish Bush would run again.
Or
at least that clown was entertaining when he showed trying to
I know, right?
Upside down.
Like, you know things are getting bad when we're like, man, maybe we should, like, amend the law, bring Bush back. Maybe we should bring back Obama again for another term. Like,
I'd take Reagan.
Yeah, I was thinking that a few minutes ago when you were talking about that. I'm like, man, fuck it, bring back Reagan, baby.
Good old Reagan.
Like, that's about to the point as to how bad this is getting. And it's like, why don't we have a third party? We should have another choice. And, like, this guy, Gary Anderson, who's supposed to be a part of the independent party, he's got, like, 2% of the vote. Like, seriously, we didn't even vote this guy in. He just kind of like, yep, I'll take it. I'll be that third party. Yep. Like, come on, man. Like, seriously.
They couldn't compete. I mean, you got to think back to, like, it goes back to business owning and stuff like that. You can only promote so much that you can pay for.
Yeah.
If you're able to promote a lot more, get a lot more out there, like that's what Trump did right. He didn't really collect no money. He showed people he could do it on his own, and stuff like that. Like, I had a lot of respect for the way Trump was going for president.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, to be perfectly honest, I think that there are some good things that he does. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like he needs, like, a mentor there, or like a coach that's like, hey Trump, you shouldn't say that. We come here.
He needs a little more of a filter block.
Yeah, like a coach, or like that's why a vice president is so important. Like, where the fuck is that guy? Like, he should be there like, hey, Trump, maybe we should do this instead.
Have we even seen who our vice presidents are going to be?
Dude, I don't even know who they are. I've been...
Usually you hear something about that, like Bush and Cheney. Bush and Cheney. You heard that shit forever and a day.
But, you know, and here's the big problem I have with vice presidents. Why is it that vice presidents don't ever seem to do anything? Okay? Joe Biden, in the first debates, back when Obama and him were running, okay? Him and his debates with Sarah Palin. Like, he was like, yeah, it's time to kick some ass, America. And, like, After that, like, like seriously, that was Joe Biden. He's like, I'm gonna go there and kick some ass. And she's like, hey, let's debate. I can see Russia from my house. And he's like,
I kind of wouldn't mind seeing Sarah Palin as the president, though.
like, she's one of those things that, you know, just
She's
like,
got a good backbone.
like, she's nice to look at, but other than that, it's like, come on, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like, she looks fine on the outside, but, like, not enough to run our country. Like, I could see her doing a presidential, like, a State of the Union, and like, yeah, girl, you look nice, but, like, I really don't like what you're saying. You see what I'm saying? Like, maybe just put it on mute. Yep. Hey, I agree, President Palin. Keep it up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but during those debates...
That's what we should have, more presidential debates. It's like strippers in the background. It would be more appealing to us. Everybody likes boobs, I'm sorry.
Anyway, it can
And don't forget, too, this month is National Breast Cancer Awareness
Yes.
Month. Y'all wear pink.
We gotta save them tatas. Seriously. That's no joke. 1 in 4 women lose breasts every year to this shit. And this is one cause I'll fight for. That and banning of illegal cockfighting. Do not put...
Okay.
Okay. Let me give a little background. Cockfighting is like when, like, especially over in like Tijuana, people will take like chickens and they'll put them in the ring, right? And then they fight each other and shit. They do
people fighting down here. Like,
yeah, like
they got people fighting rings down here, and I'm like, that's just me.
Like that's no, like don't no. Like chickens should be eaten. Like, they're delicious. Like, they should be rotisserie and barbecue.
Chickens are like the best pet, man. They poop breakfast.
Like, come on. Like, don't put them in illegal fighting against each other. Like, you need to take care of them and get all that good food. But anyways. Let's move on to the last part of our interview today. Alright, let's get to... What are the types of people that have inspired you over the years to stay positive, and what does it mean to you to have motivated, positive people in your life?
Well, my biggest motivation actually was my mother growing up. My mother was raised in Brooklyn, New York. She didn't even get her 6th grade degree. She dropped out, was, doing drugs on the street, this, that, and another, avoiding the law. She eventually grew into a beautiful young lady and became a foster parent for thousands of kids.
Wow.
It just wasn't a foster home, though. Our foster home was the last resort. They were high-risk kids. They were suicidal, this, that, and another. Basically, if you did not work out with my mother, you sat in jail until you were 18 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, like, I seen some stuff growing up, and my mom stayed positive most of my life. Some stuff happened, and she lost her foster care license, and she kind of went off the deep end, and we lost her. But, that's been my biggest motivation all these years, is to see all the kids that she brought happiness to, how she touched their lives. She was actually an unsung hero for 3 years in a row. It was either 2 or 3, but the senator gave her an award. She was in the newspapers and stuff like that for her foster care work. With only a 6th grade degree, her and her friend actually started up Compassionate Foster Care Agency up in Seattle.
Wow.
So, there was big leaps and bounds that she was doing with being undereducated and stuff like that.
Wow, that's incredible, man. Like, I've always been the type, and I get sometimes I get hate on this about my YouTube videos because I'm so positive. People think I'm weird, but it's something I've had my whole life.
Haters motivate me. I eat them up like vitamins. If somebody's not hating that you're being so positive and making a change in your life, then you're not doing something right.
Yes, I agree. And it's like, ever since I was a little kid, I've been this way. My whole life. You know, I was always filled with tons of energy and excitement because I always had this thirst for life. Like, life was so exciting and weird and bizarre, but yet fun and crazy, and the experiences you have and the people you meet and the food. Wow, the food. Oh, I could go on and on, but seriously.
We're both fat people. We understand.
Hey, you know what? Hey, it's not fat if you love food. You know, some people they love certain things in life. I love food, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But throughout my life, you know, and everybody thought when I was a little kid, it was like, oh, well, you know, he's just a little kid. Look at him. When I turned into a teenager, it was like, the moment I turned into a teenager, like, oh, he's on drugs. What? Just a few months ago, I was just this quirky, cute little kid, and now I'm a teenager, and now I'm on drugs because I'm so happy all the time, because I'm so excited. Like, I remember one of my first girlfriends going over to her house for the first time and meeting her parents, and like her dad giving me dirty looks the whole time because I was always smiling and happy, and I wasn't disgruntled and angry and pissed off, and I'm like, that's not the way people are supposed to be. We're supposed to love life, and we're supposed to love being a part of it.
Yeah, nobody likes them grumpy teens.
Yeah. You know, and I was always the type that I love being happy. Like, I'm an energetic person. Like, fucking deal with it, dude. And then, you know, through the military, and then even through the war, dude. Even through the fucking war. I was probably one of the most happiest, positive people. Always had a smile on my face. Now, granted, not always, but most of the time, I had a smile on my face. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. You know?
The chafing kicks in and you're like, ugh.
And especially that heat, you know, 150 degree heat, 100% humidity, and it's like, you know, I mean, you can only smile so much.
That's what I live with down here in Louisiana, man. 65 degrees here. I'm like dying. I'm like, this humidity. Ah!
I feel like my skin is melting.
You jump from the AC house to the AC truck.
You're like, it's like, hurry up. Get to the truck. Get to the van.
You wish you had a kid in the house so you could send him out there to start it and get the AC going. So when you run out there, it's already going.
And so all of my life, I've looked up to positive people, and I've always tried to be a positive person and help be uplifting to people, you know? Because, especially nowadays, with so much hate and darkness that surrounds our world, you know, we need to be motivated, we need to be positive more than we ever have. And I feel like every year, like, there's just a little bit more positive people that are like fading away. And that's why I feel like it's so important nowadays for us to keep our heads up and keep driving on, keep grinding, and keep bringing smile. And that was one of the reasons why I became friends with you in the first place, because I seen what you were doing. I seen what you were doing down in New Orleans, and I'm like, wow, look at him. He's trying to put smiles on people's faces, trying to bring joy back in people's lives. And I thought to myself, like, man, that's a lot like me. You know, I love making people happy. That's why I want to do TV shows and films, because I want to bring that same type of joy to people's faces. You know, I want to reach a broader audience, a bigger audience, make more people smile than ever before. You know, and that's what my life is about. It's about making people happy and about making them smile, and occasionally making them pissed off, but only brief periods of pissed offness so then we can get back to the happiness. Because it's almost like inevitable.
Man, like I said, you ain't doing it right unless you got haters.
Exactly.
I mean, just look at the creator of My Name is Earl. How many people hated on him?
Oh, jeez.
That was a great show.
Dude, I loved My Name was Earl. Like,
I loved Raising Hope, too. Like, Raising Hope was my favorite show.
oh, shit. I'm trying to remember Raising Hope.
The dude impregnates a serial killer, and then she gets executed and has a kid. Dude, I'm telling you, if you haven't watched Raising Hope...
Oh,
go watch
yes,
Raising Hope.
yes. I know what you're talking about now. Okay. And then they have to raise the kid.
Yep.
Yup. Okay. Yeah. I watch so much TV, and I've got so much like floating around in my head. It's like I gotta go back into like the deep caverns of my mind to find it sometimes. Oh yeah, there it is. So like I love My Name Was Earl. I loved like the comedy. I love like the different lessons and the things that you learned in that show. So it was a really good show, and I really loved it. And I've always loved comedies, and I've always loved things like that will put smiles on your face, and
You know what's
especially.
really my favorite one is like comedy romances. For some reason, I like comedy romances. Yeah, I see you give me that eyebrow. I know it's really weird. I just like it.
Okay. They could have a redeemable quality, I'm trying to keep an open mind here,
51st Dates. 51st Dates. That's my favorite one.
Well, okay, I have a story about 51st Dates, okay? When 51st Dates came out, I was in Iraq. It's kind of why it has a bad taste in my mouth. Because I used to watch that, and it would remind me of my ex-wife. Well, she wasn't my wife at the time, but then after I came back, then we got married. It's a long story. But anyways, point was, it's like, she kind of, like, stained me when it came to that movie. But I used to like it before that, though. I watched it.
But she was Forgetful Lucy?
Her personality. Her personality did. Her personality kind of reminded me of her, So.
I don't know. I also like Drew Barrymore. I think
Yeah.
that woman is so beautiful.
I think she's a good actress. I think, I think she's pretty, but, I like her acting, though. I think she's very talented in immersing herself in whatever she does, So, alrighty. Thank you for joining me today, Will. It's been a pleasure. I'm finally glad that I've been trying to. Little known fact is, I've known Will for over a year now, and the funny thing is, like, I still do sign spinning, and so does he. And that was kind of how we met, is our mutual love of sign spin, And so, ever since I met him, I've been trying to get him on Skype with Spyke. And it's because of his schedule, my schedule, and the whole thing, it just hasn't ever lined up until now. So, it was really awesome to have you today, and finally to be able to, like, fit you in. So
I've been waiting to be in person, special guest on here. Like I'm literally honored right now.
So and it was great having you today, and thank you so much for joining us. And I'm gonna put the link to his Facebook page and YouTube channel down in the description. You can check out his page, check out all the things that he's doing. So thanks for joining me today, Will. I'm Spyke Von Shadow, and join me next time. Until then, see ya.